Lesson 1 of the Elements of Herpetology and Ichthyology. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit Librivox.org. Recording by Nicalia. The Elements of Herpetology and Ichthyology by William Ruschenberger. Lesson 1. Herpetology. Lesson 1. General characters. Form, skeleton, motion, nervous system, senses, nutrition, apparatus of digestion, blood, respiration, lungs, temperature, secretion, eggs, classification. Class of reptiles. 1. That part of natural history which treats of reptiles is named herpetology, from the Greek erpeton, a creeping thing, a reptile, and logos, a discourse. 2. The class of reptiles comprises those oviparous vertebrate animals that have cold blood, an aerial respiration, and an incomplete circulation. They have lungs like mammals and birds, but their circulatory apparatus is always so arranged that a part of the venous blood mingles with the arterial, without having passed through the respiratory organ, and in general, this mixture takes place in the heart, which has a single ventricle, into which both auricles open. 3. In their general form, reptiles bear a closer resemblance to mammals than to birds, but in this respect they vary very much. The head is almost always small, and the body much elongated. Sometimes they are entirely without extremities, or only possess vestiges of them, but most of these animals have 4 paws, formed for walking or swimming. Ordinarily, their extremities are too short to prevent the body from dragging on the ground, and, instead of being parallel to the axis of the body and moving in this direction, they generally stand out from the side and move from without inwards, perpendicularly to the axis of the body, an arrangement very unfavorable to locomotion. Most reptiles seem to creep rather than walk, from which circumstance they derive their name. 4. The skeleton in reptiles is composed of almost the same bones as those we have already seen in mammals and birds, but it often happens that some among them are entirely wanting. Serpents, for example, have no extremities, nor have they any sternum, and frogs have no ribs. 5. The head, in the arrangement of its bones, resembles that of birds more than that of mammals. The cranium is small. The face is generally much elongated, and the lower jaw is suspended from a tympanic bone, which is placed between it and the cranium. In general, the head is articulated with the vertebral column by a single tubercle or condyle, which has many facets and possesses only very slight mobility. 6. The structure of the vertebral column differs extremely in the different reptiles. In serpents, it is very long and very flexible. In frogs, it is very short and slightly movable, and in tortoises, its middle part is united so as to form a single bony piece. 7. Generally, the ribs are very numerous. In serpents, they exist through almost the entire length of the body. The same is the case in certain reptiles resembling lizards, while in others, these bones are merely rudimentary or entirely wanting. In tortoises, they are soldered, as it were, to each other, and with the dorsal portion of the vertebral column, from the great shield or buckler which covers the backs of these animals, and which is called carapax. 8. Without being as much developed, the bones of the shoulder are very analogous to those of birds. The anterior extremity consists of an arm composed of a single bone, the humerus, a forearm consisting of a radius and ulna, generally distinct from each other, and a hand which is sometimes in the form of a fin and sometimes resembling a foot. 9. The movements of reptiles are, in general, less active and less sustained than those of animals with warm blood, as might be anticipated from the more limited character of their respiration. For there always exists an intimate relation between these two functions. Their muscles receive less blood, and are of a whitish tint, and it is also remarked that these organs preserve their irritability for a longer time after they have been removed.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?